Zest is in, where resilience begins, not fixing the cracks.
Hello everyone and welcome to Zest is in with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that'll take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. You are going to love my guest today. She is just incredible, just from the behind the scenes. Already we spoke about so much, and all that she'll be sharing today is very much intertwined with my own journey, so I'm super excited to share this all with you. Her name is Anna Leverents, a long life truth and wisdom seeker, quantum leap facilitator and transformational mentor, who has over 30 years experience helping people break free from limiting beliefs and reconnect with their God-given purpose. Through her unique gift of perceiving unseen connections and unexpected possibilities, she invites us into a conversation around transformation, clarity, divine guidance, and what truly becomes possible when we dare to step beyond the boxes that confined us. If you feel called, I invite you to share a little love by helping amplify my incredible guest voice today, like Anna's, by subscribing for future episodes. It costs you absolutely nothing, just a click of the button, but it allows this powerful episode and the wisdom shared here today to reach many more hearts and many more minds. May this episode bring you the clarity, courage, and a renewed sense of possibility. Welcome, 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 Anna.
Thank you for having me, Michelle.
You are so welcome. Gosh, where do we even begin? I am just so intrigued by your bio and all that you're creating, and I really believe that what we share today is going to help so many. So thank you so much for being my guest. And let's start with, you describe yourself as a lifelong truth and wisdom seeker. Do you want to, should we dive in a little bit into that? Where did that begin, or just anything that comes to your mind that you think would be really nice for the viewers to hear?
Looks like this is part of who I am, who I came into this world with. It started in childhood.
Wow.
I was very curious, inquisitive, and fearless. I always wanted to know, not say for the sake of knowledge, but for understanding.
Oh, wow.
So back then I did not know it. I just keep searching and learning. And later I realized it is not only about knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It is about wisdom.
Yes.
And today we have so much knowledge, aka information. It's worth nothing. What is worth is experience.
Yeah.
And when you have the knowledge, you also need discernment.
Yes, thank you, Anna, for bringing that up, because that was one thing I have definitely learned of. I think I very much took when I started diving into particularly quantum physics and all the incredible topics we're going to discuss today. And I took it literally. And let's say we went 100 miles that way to come 50 back, to go 60 to go. And that's the thing is, which I'm sure you're going to so beautifully touch on, when it's not quite integrated and it's not fully understood sometimes, or being allowed to integrate, sometimes that's a lesson in itself. I believe that was a part of my lesson as well. Not my lesson, because the lesson sounds like serious, but I mean, I feel like I had to do that in order to then come back.
You're learning. So you're learning.
Wisdom.
And it is about understanding. When you understand, you can connect the dots. You perceive the larger picture.
Yes.
And then it makes sense. And it is very important. And many people are just searching the information and the next course they take part in, and just
which is another
pause.
loop in a way. It's another loop, isn't
Exactly. Just pause, step back, relax,
it? Yeah.
and go from there. And when you pause and relax, then your guidance can step in and give you inspiration.
Beautiful. Yes, I've definitely discovered that myself, and often something I really hear internally is wait,
Mm-hmm.
and it's such a soft whisper that if I almost was too much in my thoughts, too much not slowing down, being in the present moment, I would miss it. It does come more than once, and when I've really heard that, it just what unfolds after that is just incredible.
You see, that is the key point. It is this gentle whisper. We need to train ourselves to listen to it. It is the gentle whisper at first, and then your mind kicks in, and then it's all the noisy thoughts. So really train yourself to be conscious, to listen to this gentle voice, and from there magic can unfold.
Absolutely, and I know that one of the things that you really speak about is making the possible, making possible the impossible.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I know that there was a time, and some people could still be listening, where, you know, going to the boxes and what we are perceived, or we've been conditioned to believe that we are, etc., etc. You can see how people not make excuses, but you can see how they get caught into these belief systems that are really,
Exactly.
really strong, very strong strongholds that, again, and I know we touched on this before we pushed record, so I knew it would probably come up again. What I've learned is very much I was in this way of, like, if you see it, you can believe it, whereas I realize now that that's not true. Well, it's not true, and it's not, you know what I'm trying to say. It often, the way and the not seeing to start with is actually when the real magic surfaces. Because if you can really, in those moments of challenge, testing, whatever people want to label them as, they're just a part of life, I think. If you can really still hold that belief and just have an inner knowing, that's when I believe it can come into your life in the physical.
It can.
Yeah.
You see, it starts with the belief, and then again, beliefs are tricky because we have so many false beliefs.
Yes.
And what is even more tricky, these beliefs are part of our identity.
Yeah.
And so, just as an example, when people say, I am lazy, it is not just a statement. Any I am is identity.
Yeah.
Rather say, instead of I am lazy, you can say, I did not do enough.
Yeah.
But then again, this is a slippery slope.
Yeah. Yeah.
What my point here is, look at, or say, many people know about beliefs and mindset.
Yeah.
So they're busy working on their beliefs and changing their mindset.
Yes.
And it works until it doesn't. Why? Because when you change your beliefs and your mindset, underneath you still have your identity.
Yes. Yes.
And you have to have a good look at this. because this is really your foundation of who you am, of who you are. So that is something I recently started to offer to my clients. It is called Your Identity is Key to Your Destiny.
Oh, beautiful.
Joyful change in action. So when we look at your identity and see what is your false identity, and we have quite a lot of false identities.
Yes.
We got it from our family, from society, and this is all the I am statements which are not true.
Yes, yes.
Or just another example, there is this so-called victim mentality, which actually is a victim identity. So instead of saying, I'm a victim of XYZ, you can say, I have been victimized by XYZ.
Just that reframing.
So this is no longer your identity and state of being. This is something happening to you. And then with this reframing, you can look at, okay, how did this happen?
Yeah.
In my surroundings, how did I unconsciously add to it? How did I allow for it unconsciously?
Yes.
And we have patterns, we inherit patterns, and there is quite a lot of heavy stuff that we have in our genetic ancestry.
Yes.
That is what makes us, what causes us to be victimized, because there is sort of an there is an opening, there is something that needs to be balanced in our ancestry, in our genetic ancestry. And this is a very intense work and very rewarding, because then you really get to the nitty-gritty and to the very bottom. And when you work there, it is released for good in your life, and even better for your future generations, your kids.
Yes.
I have seen this so many times with clients.
Absolutely. And I think just in people hearing that, if we think bigger and wider than ourselves, wow. Would you not give it a go? Would you not try it? Would you not just become intrigued and curious about it if you knew that this was not only going to completely change your life, but generations to come? I think that's incredible. And even through little changes I've made in my thinking, in my actions, because I believe there's coherence as well, back to what you just said about there is like such a vast knowledge of information, but how are we using that information? Do we really understand that information? Are we integrating it? And I feel like there's a fine balance of everything. And I would love your take on this, because this was something that I thought about recently. Because I think sometimes, like the word victim, or things that we were kind of conditioned or taught when we were younger, sometimes I think it's a little not demonized, but you know what I mean? It always seems like it's a negative thing. But actually, one thing I've been really thinking about lately is sometimes it can come from the most loving place. For example, a mother loving her child so much that she gets worried. And even that in itself, I think particularly when a child is not, as conscious in their development and things like that, that can also be a hindrance. It can come from a place of love where, or even just little jokes I hear, because the power of words, and I would love your take on this, of oh, silly whatever, or they always do that. There are some really strong words that I think often are said on family members, that I just think, don't say that, because
it is sort of a curse. Maybe curse
yes,
is too hard a word, but it actually acts as a curse
yes,
because you direct it to someone and it does something
yes,
to this person.
I agree.
Because there's something incredible about manifestation. And we all know what we send our focus on, we increase.
Yes,
And then if we believe it, so the mother believes what she's saying,
yes,
and then she intends to keep her child safe, but she is so focused on herself and her patterns of worry
yeah,
that she has no clue that she manifests what she wants to prevent.
yes,
That is
yes,
the placebo effect. You
yeah,
focus on something and you take it for real and it manifests.
absolutely. And actually, a prime example, what like, I think that's really relatable, to put it in relatable terms for the viewers, is why don't you listen? You never listen to me. And then they
That's a
wonder
self-fulfilling
why.
prophecy.
But you know, you hear that so often from parents, just in that moment. Maybe they're hot and bothered, maybe, you know, they're just, again, not regulated, and you know, a child, as we know, a child is just going to be how a child's going to be. It's not a, you know, programmed to, you know, be a little robot.
But you see, when a child hears again and again,
Yes,
like
yes,
enforcing in the brain, you never listen to me.
yes,
So the brain does what it is told,
yes,
never listen. Very simple. So the
yes,
child is not, it has no say in it.
I know, yeah,
So the programming in the
yes.
brain repeating itself.
Absolutely, and just thinking about the kind of the pyramid of emotions as well, and frequencies, and you know, the strength of them in that moment as well. Usually, not making assumptions, but when that is communicated, that is a very strong energy. And as we know, like, someone made a joke once of, you know, just to say, like, I wish I was a millionaire, I've had enough of this, I want to be, to show that when we're in those modes of that energy, when we sometimes speak so unconsciously, and it's so instant and so powerful, the energy. So they were trying to say that, you know, when we're in that energy, we can create things so powerfully, that he was trying to mimic that. So say something that you actually want in that moment, but obviously you wouldn't connect.
Exactly. I mean, like this guy, if I was a millionaire, so there is not only a strong
Certainty, yeah,
emotion,
no.
but there is anger, frustration. So it flows into
Yes,
the manifestation, and you cannot manifest if
yes.
the reality has no idea what this is. So if I was,
Yeah,
and when you drop the if, because it does not exist, like no does
wow,
not exist.
yes.
So I was a millionaire. What an interesting manifestation. I was, but now I am not. So be very aware of your words and very peculiar with your words.
Absolutely. And so even that, I think, really summarized what we talked about earlier, of so much knowledge and information, but again, if you don't actually really take it, and well, you take it and you apply it, but you don't quite understand, again, because even in me saying that to you and then you communicating it back to me, I then straight away thought, oh, but then the energy of that, because we can all achieve what we want to achieve, which is going back to making the impossible possible. But how it comes into manifestation, it is also, so if you are yeah, you could be a millionaire, but you could be such an angry person and not have a joyful life. And so equally we have to think about, is it always for the highest good, and is it coming into our life with the energy we want it to come in, ease, flow, peace, love, joy? Or is it, well, I've achieved that, now what am I going to achieve next? It's kind of like that's still an energy of, you can feel that energy. It's kind of like an intense energy, isn't it?
And at the same time, you have to know the larger picture.
Yes.
You wish for something that is desirable or necessary, or you need it so much now, but then you get it, and then there comes the joyful change.
Yeah.
My entire life is about change, not voluntarily, it's just the script of my life. And I experience a lot, and while doing so, I heard this is something you're going to share with others who need it.
Yes.
And we very much need it right now in these unprecedented times of intense change.
Absolutely.
So now I lost my train of thought. Anyways.
Stepping into
joyful change. So, okay. And recently someone asked me, why joyful change? Who would want non-joyful change? Oh, very simple. They do not want it, but they create it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes even when you get a change that you don't like at this very moment, in the long run, you see that it is necessary to purge stuff inside of yourself that is no longer necessary, that actually gets into your way.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, with manifesting and wishing, it is very difficult for humans to really see the big picture. We hardly see the larger picture for our lives. We cannot look into the future. Absolutely. And when we wish for something, and I had some experience myself, I so much wanted something and I got it, and I said, not really.
Yeah.
It was not really what my mind thought it would be, because with it, now I had my heart's desire. And I realized, oh my goodness, there is obligations with it. Now I have to do things I never thought of and I'm not ready for.
Yes.
So it is so important to see the larger picture always.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more, and I think that really ties beautifully into the intro of like when I expressed about to our God-given purpose, because and again, this is just my perspective. This is not the perspective or the truth, but when I speak of God, this is just me. I'm not talking religion. I'm talking to something greater than myself that I connect to. And again, if people relate to a religion, as long as you have something that you're connecting to that brings you that joy, that love, I believe everybody's on their own journey. But for me, which I think people often get confused with, when I speak of God, I'm not speaking of religion. I'm speaking of something that is so much greater than me, an essence.
Speaking of the Creator.
Yes. So I just wanted to just clear that up. Not that it means I have to, but just go into our God-given gifts, because I feel like you've touched on a really powerful point here, and I feel like my own example in my life proved what you just said as well. I remember even when we have that desire, and I believe we have different desires in us because there's something that is in our field, if you like, that we can achieve. However, going back to what you so beautifully said, I've now realized that even if I have a knowing and I have a feeling and I know that it is going to come, I used to want it now. But what you just said, I realize now that I would not have had the capacity or the container in order to hold it. So yes, like even people do receive it. Like, it's not always everyone gets delayed, but it's like I was purposely delayed to protect me.
Exactly.
And I was
And
so
you see, there is
frustrated.
divine timing that goes beyond
Yes,
human understanding because we want it now.
yes,
I want to
yes,
change now. But it takes as long as it takes.
yes. And so I would love your take on this, but one thing that I've started doing is I say via your will, not mine.
Exactly.
You know what's for me. You know greater than me. And I trust. So if there's something still I need to work on, like I'm very now conscious of not only what I want to bring into my life, but how I want to bring it into my life. Because you could receive that money, but you could receive it in a really awful way. It's like,
Yeah, and money is not money. There is good money and not so good money.
it's
And
energy, isn't it? It just is.
I mean, that's a different conversation
Yeah,
about
yeah.
money. So it is really about divine timing and about allowing, or another word for it is surrender.
Yes, yes.
Surrender to surrender to your creator, surrender to God, and God has his will for you and your life.
Yeah.
And when you surrender your will to his will, you're on the safe side because it is much better than what you can imagine. And
Oh, yes.
I really can testify to this. I had this in my life time and again. And again, when it was not, say, in my mind's timeline, which is an illusion anyways, there was a delay, and it was so much better beyond my imagination.
Yes, yes. And if people can literally take that from what we've shared today, like really, what I believe, like, and again, and I'd love your take on this, but what often we can think and imagine can only be the capacity of what we know.
Exactly.
And so it's so much greater always. And when you look back,
you see, and this is where the miracles come in.
yes, yes.
I had countless miracles. What is considered a miracle, which is considered impossible.
Yes.
And so when I started mentoring and teaching about this, I was thinking, okay, what is this exactly? And it is allowing, and is about divine timing. And as we know, you have a goal, you have a target, but you know where you want to be.
Yes.
Forget about the timing. And don't get obsessed with the details how to get there.
Yes, yes.
That is a big trap.
Wise words. The wisdom.
And so, and again, I had so many miracles, and people said, yeah, you're lucky. And say, friends, people who know me quite a while said, what the heck are you doing? How do you do it? Well, actually, I don't. Anything. I allow for it. And then again, what is a miracle? It is something unexpected that seems miraculous.
Yes.
And it is beyond our understanding. It is something, some lucky occurrence or magical pivotal moment. And so this is when I finally came up with this sentence. And when I started with online business in 2017, then things change. And who are you? What are you? What is your USP? What is your special something? I said, okay, what is my special something? I specialize in how to allow miracles. I did it all my life.
Yeah.
To make possible the impossible.
Yeah.
Because with this miracle, with this magical or divine something, what is considered possible for a human does not matter.
Yes.
Because God intervenes, say, okay, let me do this. And then here you are,
Yeah.
with things much better and bigger than you ever could imagine.
Agreed. And you so beautifully shared that, and that's what I've realized, that there's the knowing and the but what we do as naturally as human is we only know at the capacity we know of how to get to that whatever it is. And that's why I believe it feels a miracle, because it's so much beyond. If we could just do it, then why do we need something greater than ourselves?
Exactly. And I mean, if it is in your mind is based on your past.
Exactly.
And that is where the quantum leaps come in.
Yes.
So a quantum leap is a sudden, abrupt change, something you could not imagine. Say, when you have taken your quantum leap from where you end up, you can look back and there is a certain logic to it.
Yeah.
But if you are about to quantum leap, you are not in control. Again, surrender. And this is a very important part of a joyful and fulfilled life. Let go of control. It's an illusion anyways.
Yes. And I'd love your take on this, Anna, but often, not always, because we, like we're talking about the capacity and we're expanding, so naturally it's like shedding almost the skin that you have right now. I feel like it always sometimes looks like chaos, or it looks like this, or it looks like that. But if you really have that knowing and that powerful belief, and just even like a mantra or something, like what I've noticed is even when this has happened, I just say, okay, I feel the feelings. I don't pretend that I'm not feeling how I'm feeling, but then I'm just like, okay, I know, even though this might not seem like it, I know this is for my highest good, and this is because I'm accelerating and I'm expanding in order to get to the next whatever that I need to clear and cleanse, something within me that needs to be able to hold what is coming. And I think
exactly. So coming back to the chaos, chaos is part of creation and transformation. And think of a butterfly.
Yeah. You would not want to open that up before it's ready.
No, I mean, think of a butterfly. At a certain point, it turns into the chrysalis. And then something incredible happens.
Yes.
It is dissolved into sort of a primordial goo and reassembled into a butterfly.
Yes.
Something, so in this goo chaos state, it is reassembled to something completely different.
Yeah.
And that is why if you are in this old state and you want to control everything, and you are holding on to what you know because you are afraid of change, you never become the butterfly you are meant to be.
Wow, Anna, that's incredible. And 100%, because it's almost like the womb, isn't it? And going back within, and even imagine that when that caterpillar is in there, it's dark, it's gloomy, probably, it's, not nice, got no idea of what's happening at all, to then one day, it opens up and oh wow, a whole new version of life.
And then again, coming back to the caterpillar, when the butterfly finally gets out of the cocoon and it has been very cramped,
yes,
and then it cannot just expand and unfold its wings, it needs to stay there and sort of pumping its juices into the right place in order for the wings to properly work. So this is again when we have our transformational chaos and come out of it at a certain point, then we are not ready to fly yet. We just have to sort of use our new possibilities, our new structure, and then we can unfold our wings and fly.
Absolutely, so powerful. Thank you, Anna. Wow, what an incredible episode! And equally, I know there's so much we could still touch on, but I really want to give you this time now that if you feel like there's something anyone listening would really still benefit to hear, all the greatness that you're creating, how they can get in touch with you. I'll put all your details in the notes, so don't worry about saying email addresses and all that. But if there's something you want to still share with the audience, like please feel free, because wow, it's been incredible connecting with you today.
So the people I work with they are successful and they sort of get all they have wanted most often, and then there still is something missing. And they are not happy with it, and they are not fulfilled with all their great success. And literally some clients came to me and said, there's something missing. I have no idea what is missing. I should be grateful for everything, but there is this lack in me. What is it? And what it is purpose. Without purpose, everything is meaningless. And the interesting thing about purpose is so many people are searching for their purpose and don't find it. Why? The purpose is not out there. Your purpose is right in front of your nose and inside of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to stop and allow for it. You have to tune inside. And another interesting thing with purpose is not glamorous. Purpose is something that is innate to you. And many people have their purpose as their hobby or something they long to do for decades. And they say, well, yeah, there's no money in it.
But even that's a powerful affirmation that they are speaking about.
No, yes, it is. But then again, it is a reality in this society, because there is this interesting question. It's like, do you work or are you a mother? So what a weird question. How come this question? Very simple. This world, work is only what creates money. If you work and do not create money for someone, your boss or whoever, it's not work, it's just a hobby. So, but when you realize this and said, okay, you cannot make big money with it, but you can make some money. And in the beginning, maybe you can't because of your belief systems. But what you do create is value.
Yes.
Incredible value that maybe you give away for free because those who need it cannot afford to pay you. But while you are creating this business or say rather economy, you are creating something very valuable. And at a certain point, it comes back to you. And so you receive, say, gifts. You receive from your neighbor, say, a basket full of apples. They cannot pay you, but yeah, we have so many, please take it. Just get a different idea of exchange, of value and balance, giving and receiving.
I agree. Even with, I just feel like it is so powerful what you've shared, even with Zest to Zen. You know, so many people 160, 70 episodes later, but what do you mean you don't charge? You don't no, but you know what? They don't know what enters my life as a result of me showing up and the connections I've made. And it's way more, and I agree with you, you know, equally, money is a powerful tool in this world that is in the right hands. I know that this is not what you said, but this is what I believe. In the right hands, for the right way, it should be amplified, because we can create more, because that is how this world is set up. But equally, I think when you really do feel something and you know it's something that you need to step into and do, you need to just do it. You need to do it and get on with it, and not just only focus on the money. Because if I focus on the money,
but then again, so with identity, there also is a worldview, and we all are in a separation worldview, which is based on fear and scarcity. So when you're still in this worldview, you will always perceive what you believe. You believe in danger, fear, and scarcity. And with scarcity, there is competition. So when you get into a connection worldview, when there is community, when there is sharing, when there is balancing, so with this different worldview, this is the most important shift.
Yes.
Because the worldview is the foundation of everything, the foundation even of your identity.
Absolutely.
So there is so much we can do, and we can do this in coming together, sharing, joining, exchanging. And I support people on this journey. I have been on this for quite a while, for decades myself. So I'm a very experienced guide for you on this path.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Anna. And I just think, because we touched on it just lightly, I just want to also, it's slightly off topic, but not really. I also just want to really honor the mum, not just the mothers, but the fathers as well, bringing children and life into this world, because they are the generations to come. And so even though, yes, we did equally talk briefly about money and honoring your gifts and stepping into, you know, we're all on our different journey, and that's why you should connect with Anna, because we can talk about something, but everything is very unique and personal to the person, which is why it's important to connect with incredible women like you. But equally, I just really want to, when we think about the job and the upbringing, I believe that sometimes some of the most powerful, influential leaders are mothers, bringing up children into this world, because they are, you go back to that value and that gem, you are pouring into that incredible life, and you are setting the foundation for what's to come as well. So yeah, I don't know, I just felt like that was really important to just mention for anyone who is listening and maybe doesn't have a job, but to see that role, if that is a role that you are you're stepping into right now in your life, that is a powerful, very important role.
And say, women have been talked out of it. Say,
Yes.
If you want to fulfillment, and you just go, you have to have a career, and so women fell for it. I myself too. And at a certain point, then there is this biological clock ticking, and that is usually quite late or even too late to really fulfill your God-given purpose, the highest purpose a woman can have, which is being a mother.
Bringing life into this world, yeah.
Because without mothers, life does not continue, and the society falls apart. And we look at our world right now, the state it is in. Why? They destroyed the families. They sent the mothers to work. They send children into daycare. They are taught by whoever is teaching them stuff that is not serving the child or the family or the world as whole. So there is a lot to do, and we have to go back to our roots.
Absolutely.
And remember who we truly are, what is our identity in God.
Yeah.
And we are always enough, more than enough. And when you ask God, who am I in your view? That is really where the magic happens. So I invite everyone to do this. And if you need some inspiration, I can help you.
Absolutely, really. Thank you so much, Anna. You're an absolute pleasure. And I think even in what you just shared there, that last little bit, you know, when I think of God, God is ever loving, ever present. So if you are having that thought, feeling, or emotion that is the opposite to that, you can't have two polarities. You can't have two opposing views. And it's not saying that, you know, everything that's negative is not true, but equally, would a all-loving Father, excuse me, would they make you constantly think those intrusive thoughts? No.
No, because you see, I myself had a very pivotal experience, and at this point, say when God is with you, you have this peace that is beyond imagination.
Yes.
And there is joy. And I had in 1999 this pivotal moment when I became homeless. It felt to me like crucifixion. And to me, it was the day where I experienced crucifixion and resurrection at the same day. What could have been a disaster was the biggest blessing in my life. And I felt it like everything, how it was unfolding, and I really felt it in my body. This incredible peace when I received this message, you have to leave within 24 hours. My body relaxed. There was this peace beyond imagination. And when I left next morning, 20-something hours later, I stepped outside, and it was Good Friday. Everything was peaceful and empty. It was bright sunshine. I stepped onto the street, and I entered a different reality. I felt an incredible peace in my body, which is the presence of God.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so I knew I had no clue what to do, where to go, but I just stepped onto the street and started walking. And then I heard, your feet are now in charge of your path. Let go and let God.
Let go
And
and
I
let
did.
God. Beautiful. Wow, Anna. Incredible. Incredible. What an absolute inspiration you are. And yeah, may you continue to just keep not only receiving so much blessing in your own life, but the lives of others. And yeah, you feel it. Anyone listening right now, you really feel the call to reach out. Don't think take action because there's a reason why you're feeling that. And just one final thing before you go, it doesn't have to be related to what we've said at all, or it could be just reiterating something that you said, just to really plant that seed. But if there was someone listening right now that really needed to hear a message, any message, what would you tell them?
Let go and let God.
I had a feeling, I was hoping you were going to repeat that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anna. God bless you always. And yeah, keep shining, inspiring, and really, really improving so many people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
That's the magic that Zest is in.